DeBell is built like a heavyweight. He looks like a heavyweight. The power, number one in human force.
Most people haven't faced anybody like me.
Oh! Has cold in Las Vegas.
Honestly, I feel like I've already left sort of a legacy, being the youngest in the sport and then coming in, taking the belt. Just hoping to really stamp my name on it. A win tonight is just another step in the right direction.
Now what follows is interview with Damon DeBell, and Damon was tremendously good. I'm thankful for that. It's roughly 40 minutes. So I know the quality is, let's say, shitty, but if you want better content from me, please consider watching the whole video so I can hit those 4K and then buy better microphone. That's it. Have a nice day. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with the heavyweight champion. Please welcome Damon DeBell. I'm glad we are here. For people who don't know you, you are the strongest man in the promotion. And you made the history at the age of 21 when you became heavyweight champion. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Youngest heavyweight champion. Power slap. Don't say it like that for a long time because that's a hard thing to do.
And it's unbelievable. And my first question, whether the genius idea to tell you about power slap, because that person made a history.
Yeah, it was, honestly, I was there for the creation of Power Slap. So it was just people, the producers, JT at Slap Fight Championships. They really set the stage for me to be where I am today. And honestly, JT's the sole reason I'm even in the sport because he was the one that gave me my first couple matches, which spun off into this Power Slap career that I had.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And what were the first initial emotions of your parents when they learned you are about to go to Power Slap? Because that's quite unusual sport.
Yeah, honestly, my parents were just excited that I found something that I really enjoy competing and something that I can have fun with. And, pays a bit of the bills, It's such a big promotion and it has so many good connections and so many avenues that can take me down. So they were concerned, but they were excited when they saw what I was doing.
You said it. It's the big promotion, arguably the fastest growing sport out there. Dana White said it. So how do you stay calm under the pressure? I've seen you walking out on everyday normal guy too, and you didn't look stressed. Just how do you do that? It's impossible for me.
It's just one of those things where if you're put in a situation, you just have to do it. You have to excel. There's no options about there's no considerations to be had for me. No one was like, oh, that's just a kid up there. No, I was told to go up there and slap somebody and it don't matter how many people I'm in front of. I have something that I need to do, so I'm going to go do it.
Well, great mindset. Great mindset. Have you ever been like that? Have you ever been calm? Have you ever stressed out or just calm by nature?
I get nervous before fights and, nerves and stuff are always part of who everyone is, for everybody. Everybody has it, some people worse than others, but for me, I've never really I've been nervous, I've been anxious about things, but it's never held me back from doing what I wanted to do or needed to do. It's just, I've always been pushed to do more and be better. That's just carried in my whole life.
That's great attitude. Could you describe some memorable moment or fight in your Power Slap career?
I'd say my favorite fight would be when I won the belt against Ron, just because of, he's such a legend in the sport. He was a real pioneer in the sport. Like back when they were doing it in bars still. Like he's one of the main people that taught me most of the technique I know. So to go up there and beat him on that stage and at this level was incredible. Like it's just it's hard to wrap my head around it to this day, like the scale that's done to and the matches that I've had. That was definitely my favorite one.
Yeah, that's probably like that sentence, when your heroes become your rivals. That's when you reached some huge level.
Yeah. I mean, no one's been good enough to really be a rival, to be fair.
That's right. That's right.
Knocked down, I've knocked down or out everybody I've gone against. So it's just been kind of keep doing what I've been doing.
That's great. And my favorite question, what do you think are the most common misconceptions about power slap fighting? Because many people hate it. Many people say it's not even a sport. Well, and you are the champion, you are the head.
Yeah, I think the biggest misconception that a lot of people have with this sport is that they don't realize how much skill and technique it takes to knock someone out with our rule set with a slap. Like, doing that is already a hard task. Just slap at somebody and knock them out. But you have rules against pivoting, placing the hand. There's a lot more that goes into it than just going up there and slapping somebody. Anyone can go up on the stage and slap somebody, but power slap, our competitors are now at the stage where if you want to come up and fight some of these guys, you need to be training for a power slap, or else you're going to lose, and you're going to lose bad. And a lot of people are realizing that a little bit more now after the last top 6 are where pretty much every new guy lost their fight. So I think that's the biggest misconception, but we're slowly trying to fix that.
Cool. So is power slap more about technique and strategy, or is it more about muscle and that strength you got?
It's mostly strategy. It's like a lot of guys like to put you're playing with us. It's basically the rock, paper, scissors fight. It's a lot more simple than it really is. Like, there's a lot of techniques and stuff that you can use to play towards your advantage to win a lot of these fights. And it's just experience is key for a lot of guys. Like, I just knocked someone out my last fight who everyone was thinking real good chance against was, 6'6", Nate Bernard. The big fighter, 6'6", 6'7", however tall he is, like beefy dude. Probably benches like 400 pounds or so. He got knocked out in one round. Muscle isn't everything in the sport.
Yeah. Is there some genetics for chin?
For chin, I feel chin's the one thing I'm not really sure about, because some guys train their neck and shoulders a lot. I train my shoulders, just as part of my workout, but I don't do any special neck or shoulder exercises. And I've been eating shots perfectly fine for a good while now, but some guys swear by like the jaw exercise, chewing on that weighted chewing ball or whatever it is, and then they have like the neck brace, so you attach it to your top of your head, and you could turn to work out your neck muscles. But for me, I've just been filling with what I have. Just sometimes you're born with it, you're not. That's just how I kind of base it off of.
That's great attitude. I know Mike Tyson did some neck moves or neck training to have thicker neck to avoid any KO. And if we talk about training, is there anything special towards power slap fight you got to train, or is it just regular training?
Oh, and there's a lot of special stuff that you gotta do. You gotta get. The biggest thing is getting your form down. That's like your number one thing you're training. But then after that, it's just kind of carrying that into like weighted training, isometrics, resistant bands. You have certain workouts that you're doing to kind of boost your power in your slaps. Like, I love Russian twists. They're a great core workout, and they help you when you're driving. Great workout for that kind of stuff. But it's a whole separate kind of workout plan. It's definitely not a lot compared to other sports. But once you start getting in depth in it and then trying to excel and be better than other people, that's when you start hitting barriers and roadblocks. And that's why I just say join one of these fighting teams that we have springing up. I might be starting one soon. Dwayne has one. So anyone that would be interested in learning and studying the techniques and how to try and get better, that's the main way to do it.
That's great. I think, and many people as well think, power slap will grow. And the biggest disadvantage disadvantage of the sport is that not many people actually know the rules or the techniques.
I'm planning to start making some videos once I get to Vegas. I'm gonna have to read them. We're going to start making some videos to try to explain the rule set to people, just to have someone there to like simplify and talk about the rules more. Because a lot of people, oh, why is the club being called here, or why didn't they call him for stepping here when his foot came up? It's like another thing. The rules really hold you back so much in the sport, so you have to know how to play around each and every rule. And like not play around and use them to your advantage, but like strike as hard as possible while staying within those rule sets.
Yeah, in my point of view, it's arguably the easiest sport to enter. You just need head and one arm. But on the other hand, it's so goddamn hard to understand all the rules and to follow them in the fight when you are under the pressure.
Yeah, it's a real easy sport to get into, but it's hard. As soon as you start reaching the top 10, and then especially the top 5 in every division, that's when it really starts getting like nitty gritty. You got really focus and fight your way through each ranking.
Well, I got one question that it's some crucial or very excited for me. When the opponent is hitting you, is it better to close your eyes or to keep them open and look at your opponent?
I feel like it depends on your personality for every fighter. For me personally, I watch my opponent just up until they're going to hit, just because I'm afraid of getting chalk in my eyes. Like, I don't want to get nothing in my eyes. And if they do hit a little high, I don't want my eyes open so that they can, if their hands coming in, if your eyes open, your eyeballs go. So I try to, just put it down so if it does catch it, at least I'm protected there. So I think in every case it's better to close your eyes as it's hitting you, but you have to be careful that you're depending on what you do. So for every person, I say find what works for them. Like for them specifically, some people love having their eyes open and watching the whole thing. Other people just prefer to keep their eyes closed and take the hit as it comes.
Yeah, keeping those eyes open looks much more badass when it's played backwards.
Yeah, it looks badass until you get poked in the eye.
That's right. Well, is there any anti-doping agency in Power Slam?
Yeah, the UFC, the same people that run the UFC anti-doping run the Power Slam anti-doping. So we get piss tested, all that, blood tests, like full medicals.
That's dope.
That's why when people also talk about the health aspect, that's why people talk about the health aspect. Is he gets full body check or everything. So I'm not concerned with anything right now.
That's great. Is there any option or change you can avoid brain damage or getting slapped? Is there any defense, or just have to stand like a rock and be prepared for that slap?
You just gotta stand there, be prepared for a slap.
Okay.
I don't know the stats on the brain damage and stuff. From what I've heard from Power Slam, they did the numbers and everything. As far as head injuries go, it's somehow better than boxing and some other combat sports. At least in terms of medical times and, concussions and stuff like that. Surprisingly, we've had a lot less concussions than an MMA card or a boxing card over the year.
I believe
that's something they're very proud of.
Yeah, I believe it because you change, let's say, 5 or 6 shots per whole fight. But when you are in MMA bout or box bout, you change dozens or hundreds of full blows to the head. Yeah. So in this way, it's much safer.
Oh yeah. And that's another thing I love about it. It's just, you're not going to get a lot of hits, not a lot of drawn out matches, but you're going to get a good, every round is going to be an exciting, thrilling round. It's never a boring round of power slap.
It's never boring, and therefore it's so fast going in nowadays because
Yes.
arguably no one wants to watch a boxing match that's 20 minutes long, but here it could be only 20 seconds, so it's much more entertaining. And
Yeah. I also think it's because people's attention span has been shrinking with TikTok and Instagram Reels. You want fast entertainment, like bam, bam, bam. Power Slap's the one to do it. That's just straight action the entire time.
That's right. How do you see the future of the sport? Because could we ever make it to the Olympic Games? Is it possible?
I don't know about Olympic Games with just how much difficulty they to get into some of these conditions, but I don't know. I didn't imagine if you told me I'd be power step champion and sport would be at where it's today, like even a full year ago. Exactly a year ago today, you could have told me power step would be this big, and I wouldn't believe you. So it's just exponential growth, in my opinion. It's just been taken off, and it's hard to say where it's going to be even a year or two from now.
Well, the growth is incredible. It's tremendous. I'm from Europe. I'm 19, and I know about you. I know about the Power Slap, so it's truly an international organization.
Jeez, yeah, it's been crazy.
Yeah. And how do you envision, especially your future, considering you are built exactly for the heavyweight? You are extremely young, and in my opinion, and not many people would doubt that, we may say you are something like John Jones, but in Power Slap.
Yeah, I've heard that quite a bit recently, and I really feel so honored for that comparison. But for me personally, it's if I just keep dominating the way I am, I stay in this league for the next 4 or 5 years, depends how long, until I save up enough money to go to law school.
Yeah.
But I can do this, time with if I really wanted. So I've been considering how far my career is going to go for it, but at least for another year or two, I'm going to be just defending my belt, racking up the wins.
Yeah. And what aspects of the sport do you think people often overlook or underestimate?
I feel like people underestimate just how hard it is to stand there and receive a slap. Just anyone that is able to go up there and receive a slap without flinching has my respect, at least in that regard, because it takes a lot of nerve to go up there and just let someone hit you without moving it at all. It's not easy.
Yeah, you gotta have a huge balls. And my great wonder, while you are standing there, was the purpose of that stick you fight with Hulk behind your back? How should it help?
Apparently, it's just to keep your hands away so that you don't have like any actual reactions or something. I think it's just kind of become a customary thing in slap fighting, because in slap fight championships they had towels. I know in another league they used something different, but most slap fighting leagues there's something to keep your hands out of the way. Our slap just chose little things. It really could just be anything. And for advantage or disadvantage, I don't think it has anything. It's just something to hold there.
Okay. Outside of the ring, what do you think are the most significant misconceptions people have about Power Slap fighters? Because you are heavyweight champion, and also you train yoga, and you will study law, which is completely out of the box.
Yeah. People love to assume that our fighters are old men that can't make it MMA or boxing, so they went to Power Slap or something. And people love to think also that we're dumbasses for even willing to get slapped like that for $1. But honestly, we're just we're just everyday dudes from all walks of life. Some of us enjoy slap fighting. We didn't want to do boxing or MMA. Some of us are branching off and doing other things, of course, but for a lot of people, slap fighting is the sole thing they wanted to do. This wasn't a backup plan for a lot of these guys. This was just something that they saw and thought they could be a part of and participate in, and they reached out and did it. And honestly, that makes a lot of people to be able to do that. So I think these guys deserve a lot of respect that they're getting for being a part of the sport.
Well, definitely, because they got arguably the biggest balls in the whole planet, in the whole world. It's so hard, and it's arguably much harder to step in that ring while you are a power slap fighter than you are a boxer. Because in a boxing fight or MMA fight, you got to change that you will not get hit, that you will get a KO much quicker. But in power slap, it's more than obvious you will get at least one slap, unless it's you.
Oh yeah, you go and take at least one. Yeah, unless you get a first round knockout, but those are rare, dime a dozen. You have to be experienced. Basically the stars have to align perfectly most of the time to get a first round knockout.
Well,
but sometimes it just works out.
I'm glad it happened to you. And coming back to the yoga, how the fuck it helps you? How the hell yoga helps to power slap?
Yoga actually helps me. Honestly, I'd say almost the training I do, because it gives us the ability to generate power without using turning my face. It's the shoulder mobility, the hip and waist mobility. It's the core strength. Didn't know yoga built core strength, but certain yoga does apparently. My wife's the real yoga expert. I just follow what she tells me to do, but it's really helps like boost my mobility and speed in a lot of aspects. So I swear about yoga is a great way to get better speed in the sport.
Well, that's interesting because my whole life I've seen yoga as some stretching with extra breathing. Well, but since this time, my opinion has changed. In the beginning,
it's serious. It seriously helped because I used to have a lot of back problems too. And when you're trying to swing as hard as you can, but you there's not a lot stopping you, and you can't move your feet, it's hard to generate a lot of power. And that's what yoga just helped me learn. But yeah, no, yoga has been great for helping me learn that stability. And then karate, I took a little bit of karate, stole the horse stance. That's actually, if you look at how I stand for my fights, it's kind of like I kind of stole that a little bit, but just squat down deep and then just drive with your legs.
Yeah, you look like Karate Kid.
Oh yeah, you can do a little squat beforehand and it really settles you where you feel comfortable.
Cool. In the beginning, I mentioned you are the strongest man in the promotion. Have you ever broke someone's jaw? And is it even possible?
No. I know it's possible, but I haven't done it yet. I know I think he's dislocated someone's jaw. I don't know. I think someone's had their jaw dislocated in sci-fi championships before, but never in power stuff that I've heard of. Not yet. Maybe my next fight.
We will see it. Well, I study medicine, so it's extremely interesting for me that someone can broke jaw or bone with just slap. No punch, no fist, just slap. That must be incredible power.
Just oh yeah.
I don't understand it. I can
only hope to do that at one point, but also I'm cool of the guys that fight, so I don't want to break their jaw. It'd be a cool thing to say I did, but I'm also friends with a lot of these guys, so it'd be like, damn, I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. It'll just be overly apologetic.
Yeah, but it would be a great highlight.
It would be an amazing highlight.
Yeah,
Amazing highlight.
that's for sure. Maybe Dana would give you some broke jaw bonus.
If I didn't get a performance bonus after that, I'd be mad. Because that's definitely performance bonus for
It's worth it, absolutely. And have you had a direct contact with Dana White? He's really as savage as he appears.
That's the only time I've really even met or talked to Dan White is like on stage at a brief time in passing. So anything about Dan White, I don't know. I'd also really watch the UFC, so I don't know much about him, but yeah, no, I appreciate him funding it, setting up this whole sport that I get to be a part of. It's a big deal.
Well, in my point of view, 5 years ago it was known just from Russia, but then Dana gave it its face, and now it's more popular in USA, UK, and Europe.
Yeah. That's apparently all it took was someone putting the money behind it and just taking it to the bigger public. Because it's been around for a couple of years now, as you said. And I was even a part of the previous promotion in the United States before Power Step became a thing, and just took it over.
Yeah. So you're experienced fighter, even though we are 21. Throughout your career, you have experienced ups and downs in your career. Can you tell us a particular challenging moment in your journey, and mostly how to overcome it, how to be stronger, how to stay calm, and just how not to give up?
I'd say my second match was my biggest down of my career so far. That was the only match I've ever lost. And I had a lot of stepping penalties. And even in my first match, I had a lot of stepping penalties at it, but that didn't cause me to lose. But the stepping penalties, and I think there was one clubbing. It was just a rough time as far as like penalties go for me. Like I was pulling a line that I really didn't want to be. So I just came home, and between the months from my second and third fight, I literally only focused on preventing penalties. I didn't even focus on building power, building speed, getting better, taking hits, none of that. I focused on not getting penalties. And I did it. I won that match, no penalties whatsoever. And I think in Power Step, I've only ever gotten, I think I've gotten one penalty called against me that wasn't a warning. I've gotten like 2 or 3 warnings, but I've only gotten one actual penalty, I'm pretty sure, if that. So it was a lot of just hard work, dedication, late nights, just honing in on my technique and figuring out what I want to do, how I want to go up there and do it. It definitely pays off. Like a lot of people also don't understand. Like, yeah, it's 3 slaps, 5 slaps, but we trained for 6 months to go up there and slap someone 3 or 5 times. Like, it's a lot of training for like just a couple minutes of fighting. But if you don't do it, it's just you're not going to progress anywhere.
Yeah, it's incredibly hard to solve months of work and training into 3 slaps. There's just incredible pressure, and no one can imagine that even, because it's much easier in this scenario to fight MMA or boxing than to be first slap fighter.
Oh yeah, because at least in other boxing or MMA, you have rounds. You lose the first round, okay, we'll get back into it. Yeah, good round to give them a second. No, in Power Step, you have strikes. You have 1, 2, and 3 strikes, and then if you get a penalty on one of those strikes, you basically have to knock that person out, or else you're losing a decision a lot of time. Because that's almost, once you lose that first round, that usually spills over. You start getting in your head, start getting nervous. See, with a lot of guys, after that first penalty, they usually either pull that second one or they pull a different one that they're not even thinking about overcompensating for that first one.
Yeah,
So it's a struggle out there.
Yeah, it is hard. And in general, is it harder to be boxer or MMA fighter? Or which sport do you like more?
Personally, I love boxing more just because I don't like rap fighting. I don't like a dude's ass in my face. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says, but that's nasty. That's nasty.
Yeah, that's like
But
Conor
yeah,
McGregor
I
said.
love boxing.
Yeah, he doesn't like wrestling because it's like putting your balls on someone's forehead.
Yeah, like, like not me. As soon as that happened, I'm punching somebody.
That's much better. And as the king of heavyweight division, what advice would you give to aspiring fighters who are just starting their journey into the sport? What would you recommend? What's the best base to start? And maybe what's the best age to start? Because last week I talked with Anko Maiko and he said it's better to start after you are 21. And when you were 21, you were already the champion.
Yeah, for me, I think it's better to start when you're younger because you have better mobility, you have better recovery times and everything. And if you're just getting into the sport, your best option would be either finding one of the other more experienced fighters to coach you, give you tips and stuff. I have a lot of fighters that hit me up that give tips too. They're not really under me, but I'll give advice to anybody that asks. And also just, going through and watching old film, working on your form, learning the rules is a big one. Like learn the rules, learn what not to do when you go out there, and that'll win you a lot of your early fights just fighting clean. Because a lot of the newer guys, they'll pull 1 or 2 penalties, and you just have to win those rounds, and you're going to start building your way up the ranks. So just learn your rules, get your form down, and try to find someone to learn after, because that's always helpful.
Cool. Have you ever thought about moving up to super heavyweight? Because you are probably going to clear whole heavyweight division, and you are not a small guy. You are a natural heavyweight, and if you could bulk a little bit, then you will be able to be in the higher weight class. Or
If
maybe
I ran out of people to fight, I would definitely do it if I ran out of people to fight.
yeah, you could be first time two champion, right? No one has ever done it
Yes.
before. That would be dope. That would be dope.
Yeah, holding 2 belts. But I already talked to the producers in them, and they don't like the whole 2 belt holder type ordeal. So it'd probably be a good couple of years before they allow me to do that. They're just going to keep throwing heavyweights at me for a good while.
Okay, cool. And if you like boxing so much, will you ever be boxing?
Absolutely. I'm actually, as a champion, I can't be boxing while doing power slap. So if I lose or if I just decide to retire one day from this and finally start my boxing career, that's what I'm going to do. At some point when I'm with power slap, I'm going to move on and I'm down to literally. I have to work my way through the divisions below, get some ranks to fit where I'm at. But I fighting and pro injuries. So I just want to take this as far as I can and to do my law stuff.
Well, maybe can you say it one more time because I have some trouble with internet connection.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep, even if I retire from power slap or if I finally lose a match, I'm just going to start my boxing career then. And this has really showed me how much I love pro fighting and just fighting in general at this kind of level. So I'm really going to try. I've been training actually recently. I've been training a lot to try and get into shape to eventually start taking boxing matches once I do get out of power slap.
Well, and will you start as an amateur or you will go directly into pro fight?
Straight pro fighting. I don't feel like starting an amateur would be worth it for me at this point. and I don't know if I even could, because RSF is professional fighting, and once you're pro in one fighting form, you can't just go amateur in another. So
That's
I'm
right.
pretty sure I'd have to start in pro.
And have you ever been boxing when we were younger?
I used to box for a little bit, and like when I was getting out of high school, but that was like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. It was a long ago when I first started boxing, so I still have a good while before I'm, professional Mike Tyson level boxer or anything.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've been doing all right.
Yeah. In terms of Mike Tyson, what do you think about that fight about, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson? Do you like it, or it's just bullshit in your eyes?
You can add me to a list of people that don't like it. That's such a dumb fight to have. Mike Tyson's a 50-year-old man. He should not be fighting Jake Paul. It's ridiculous. It's just a money grab, in my opinion.
Yeah, Mike's 2 times older than Jake Paul, but I think Mike can earn some good money, so that's the only good thing about the whole fight.
Yeah, at least he'll get some money, but like fighting a 20-something-year-old, like stuff like comes home, it's just not. I won't watch it.
Nah, I will just care about the highlights and the outcome, but I will not pay the pay-per-view. It's pointless for me.
Yeah. I'll watch the highlights, but not paying to watch that fight.
Okay, cool. And my question, how is it going with the law school? Because it's so unique that heavyweight champion who does yoga wants to study law school. You will be in some book, because it's tremendously unique.
Yeah, it's a real unique scenario. It's been a journey. I'm just at this point saving up money to actually be able to pay for it. So I've taken, a little 2-year break just to save up some money and work, pay some bills, just try to get the money together to go to law school. Hopefully by the time I want to max start law school by 24.
Cool.
Like 24 is like the minimum age I want to start law school at, because I want to be done with law school before I'm 30, for sure.
That makes sense. And why exactly law school? Like, you want to be a lawyer, especially?
I'm still so in between what I want to practice in law, because there's so many interesting avenues, like aviation law is really interesting. Military law, because my dad was in the military and I was planning to join the military to be able to afford my law school stuff. But luckily, pro fighting, started paying for itself. So that's kind of taken over. But yeah, originally I was going to join the military to pay for my law school. So I was thinking about military law because I enjoy aspects of learning about the military, the history behind it, and stuff like that. But then there's contract law, there's real estate law blowing up in Florida. There's so many different things that you could really practice, and I'm still deciding between all.
Yeah, you are extremely young, so you got time. Well, I'm 19. I study dentistry, and luckily I'm from Europe, and here it's for free. So it's so huge advantage for us.
Yeah, that must be nice. Oof, I wish. It's expensive here.
Yeah, I know. And I've chosen to study dentistry because you can do dentistry in Europe, and you can do it in USA, you can do it in Asia. So I think it's arguably the most practical job you can do.
Yeah, that seems like a great choice for job security. Like, anywhere you go, you're going to find a job somewhere.
Well, thanks a lot. And my second last question, do you have any advice to your generation? Because you are arguably one of the most successful people in our generation, born after 2000. Is there any advice or any
I wanna
jokes,
say
any
all
meme, something you could share?
Yeah, I wouldn't say all that now. But if I had to give anyone advice, it'd be just to kind of go for it. I mean, it's said often, but I don't think people really put it in their heads when people say just do it. No, like don't think about it. Just kind of sometimes you just got to do stuff. Like that's how I got into circumstances I'm in now. That's how businesses start. That's how bonds are made, friendships are created. Just sometimes you just have to put yourself out there. It might be uncomfortable. It might suck. It might suck a lot. It might be terrible for a good long 2-3 years, but eventually you're going to see the other side of that tunnel. Hard work always pays off. No matter what happens, hard work always pays off. So I just keep working at it, whatever you're trying to do.
Wow, now I can see your wisdom. That was beautiful. And the last question, it will be much funnier. What will be your next workout song?
Oh, I don't even remember the name of it. It was like it's something real goofy. But I will say the chorus of the song is literally "I will not lose" because I will not lose this fight.
Well,
That's the chorus of that song.
I'm on your side. I'm on your side. We will see it in 11 days, and I'm looking forward. Well,
Yeah, I
that's
appreciate
all.
it.
Thank you a lot. It was the first time I ever talked with heavyweight champion. It's been great. It's been great,
Good talking to
incredible.
you, man. Actually, great interview, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Well, I don't think so. I struggle with English because I'm under pressure right now. I'm stressed. I will not be lying. And
No,
you
you
made
did
it.
great, man. You did great.
Well, thanks a lot. Thanks a
Yeah, no,
lot. I'm happy.
I've had so many worse, so many bad interviews. You did great. Trust me. You did great.
Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later, man.
See you soon. Bye.
See ya.
Best of luck. Thank you, champ.